Good morning, everyone. Vicki Randall Futterman here. Thank you for joining me for a gentle 30-minute yoga session. We're going to start today seated on our mats. So join me as you're ready. You're ready. We're going to let those hands sit palms up on the knees. Roll those shoulders down a few times. And then gently let the eyes close. We're going to take a couple moments here at the top of our practice just to settle in. So take a nice deep inhale in through the nose and an exhale through the nose. And just settle in for a moment. For about 5 natural breath cycles here, I'm just going to notice the breath. Notice the inhale coming in and the exhale leaving. Finding that wave of your breath. And tuning into it. In doing this, we relax the mind and body, preparing it for practice. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now would be the time. One more breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And we'll open our practice with a deep breath in, really full up. And then exhale through the mouth, let it go. As you complete your exhale, let those eyes gently open. And we're going to start with a couple of breathing exercises here just to connect the movement of the breath to the movement of the body. So with your hands sitting open on your knees, we're going to do lotus hand today. So with the inhale, you pull the thumb and the first finger together. Exhale, release them away. Inhale, next finger, middle finger and thumb together. Exhale, release. Inhale, pointer finger, ring finger and thumb together. Exhale, release. Inhale that pinky and the thumb. Exhale, release. One more round, following the pace of your breath. You can do one hand at a time here, 2 hands at a time. What feels right for you. We're just making that gentle connection between breath and body movement here. As you complete that last exhale, just let those hands sit open for a moment. Really relax those shoulders down. All right, we're going to do a little bit bigger movement here. Let those hands come down to the mat. We're going to come into rainbow breath. So with the inhale, let those arms float up. And with the exhale, then release back down to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Always breathing in and out through the nose here. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. All right, we're going to stretch out the neck a bit. You can let those hands sit next to you on the mat, on your knees, just wherever they're comfortable. And we're going to turn and look out over that right shoulder, just stretching the neck. Release back to center and look out over that left shoulder. Release back to center. Let the chin come down towards the chest. Lift to center. Lift that chin all the way up towards the ceiling. release back to center. This time, drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale, lift, and then drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale, lift. All right, let's stretch out those arms a bit. Raise your right hand, pat yourself on the back. Bring that left hand to that right shoulder. Gentle pressure here, just stretching the arm a bit. Make sure you're staying up nice and tall. Try not to round down. You want to stay lifted through the chest. Engage through the torso. Release with the exhale. Let's go to the opposite side. Left arm up. Pat yourself on the back. Right hand to that opposite elbow. Gentle pressure. And then release with the exhale. Bring that right arm across. We're going to use that left hand on the upper arm to get a little bit of pressure, stretching the shoulder here. Exhale, release. Bring that left arm across, right hand to the upper arm. A little bit of gentle pressure. Release with the exhale. Right hand comes down, left arm up and over, side body stretch. Make sure you're staying grounded through both sit bones on the mat. Again, bend that right elbow if you want to go a bit deeper. But just find that spot. Use an inhale to lift and we'll release to the left. Left hand down, right arm up and over, side body stretch. Same thing here, stay grounded, but bend the elbow if you want to go deeper. Inhale to lift, once more to the right. Left arm over, find that side body stretch. Inhale, lift, release to the left. Inhale, lift. We're going to come into a twist now, so we're going to bring that left hand to the right knee and look back over that right shoulder. As always, staying tall through the torso, generating the twist in the waist. Release with an exhale, come around to the opposite side. Right hand, left knee, looking back over that left shoulder. Release with an exhale, and then we're going to come forward. Let those hands walk out in front of you, just until you start to feel a nice stretch in the front hip, or the buns start to lift off the mat. Relax into it, stretching the front hip, stretching the low back here. Walking those hands back in, change which leg is in front, and then make your way back down once more. Stretching the opposite hip, releasing the low back as well. Walk those hands back in. We're going to stretch out the chest a bit, bring those arms up into a cactus, opening the chest here by pulling the shoulder blades together. And then use an exhale to release those forearms to one another, opening up the upper back. Open the chest. Open the upper back. One more. Open that chest. And then open that upper back. Release with the exhale. We're going to make our way towards child's pose. So coming to hands and knees, bringing those toes towards one another, sitting back on the heels, knees about as wide as the mat. And then as you're ready, release the upper body down, bringing the forehead to the mat. Or you can also use a block under your forehead if you need a little bit of support here. Relax into child's pose, such a grounding pose. Very good for the full body. You'd like to give the forehead a little massage, just rolling the head from side to side a couple times. And still the forehead, really reach those hands towards the top corners of the mat. Big stretch here.
Release a bit, and then bring those hands back towards the feet. Take a moment there, more of a rock position here. Then we're going to come into a modified rabbit. So we're just going to roll up onto the crown of the head by lifting the hips, engaging the crown of the head to the mat. Nice little inversion here. And then with the exhale, let those hips roll back down, returning to that child's pose rock position. Once more, bring those hands towards the top of the mat. Let those elbows remain on the mat and bring the thumbs to the back of the neck, coming into a tricep stretch. And stay right there, or if you want to walk those elbows out to go a bit deeper into the stretch, maybe generating some stretch in the upper back as well, just walk those elbows out just a little bit. Release with the exhale. And we're going to make our way to tabletop position. So bringing those hands under the wrists, the knees under the hips. Find that neutral back position there. And from here, we're going to do 5 rounds of cat-cow. So with the inhale, pull in the belly button, arch the back. This is cat. Exhale, release the belly, lift the head for cow. Inhale, stretch the back. Exhale, stretch the belly. 3 more. Inhale, up to cat, really pull in. Exhale, release down to cow. 2 more, cat. And cow. Last one. Pull the belly button in towards the spine, cat. Exhale, release down to cow. Come back to neutral, and then sit back on those heels. All right, you can stay right here, or we're going to stretch the quads a bit by just coming back onto those hands a bit, feeling that stretch in the front of the legs. Make sure those knees stay on the mat. Just want to feel a little bit of stretch in the legs. And then work your way forward, coming back to that tabletop position. We're going to work the wrists a bit here by turning those fingers towards the sides of the mat. And then let the body weight shift from side to side a couple times. Opening up all those joints in the fingers and the wrists. And then still the body, we're going to let those fingers come around towards the knees as much as possible. And then let the body weight shift forwards and backwards a couple times. Nice and slow here. Just want to feel a little bit of stretch up into the forearms, maybe up into the elbows. And then still the body, let those fingers come back around towards the top of the mat once more. From here, we're going to come into our first down dog of the day. So we're going to tuck those toes, lift the hips, send those heels down towards the mat. Really push through the hands and the feet here. We're going to spend about 3 breath cycles here, just really letting the body find your position. Let those knees come back down. And we're going to make our way into thread the needle. So we're going to let that right arm come up. Bring it through the hole created on the left shoulder and ear down to the mat. Let that left hand come towards the top corner of the mat. It's a bit of a shoulder stretch here. Relax into it. If you'd like to come into the optional arm bind, you're bringing that left arm around your waist, around the back, and reaching towards the right side of your body. Release with the exhale, come back up to that tabletop position, and then we'll make our way to the opposite side. So letting that left arm float up, bring it through the hole created on the right shoulder and ear down to the mat, reaching that right hand towards the top of the corner of the mat to begin. optional arm bind. You can stay right where you are. Bring that right hand around your back and reaching towards the left side of the body. Release with the exhale, make your way back up to that tabletop position. And then once more, tuck those toes, lift the hips, down dog. Feet are about hip width distance apart here. Hands are about shoulder width distance apart. Really grounding down through the hands and the feet, lifting the hips. Release the knees, coming back to tabletop. And then we're going to make our way down onto our bellies, coming into Sphinx. So for Sphinx, we have our elbows under our shoulders, forearms flat to the mat, chest lifted. Chin is parallel to the mat. Make sure those shoulders are down, away from your ears. Releasing those shoulder blades down the back. This is an opener for the chest and the belly. Release all the way down. Shift those hands under the shoulders. We're going to do 3 baby cobras here. With the inhale, lift the hands in the chest. Pull those shoulder blades together. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Leaving those hands on the floor under the shoulders. We're going to come into full cobra. Lengthen out those arms, stretch the belly, release those shoulder blades down, find cobra. If you want to deepen the stretch, look up towards the ceiling, otherwise keep that neck neutral. Tuck those toes, lift the hips, return to down dog. Here at down dog, 3 times we're going to come up onto the toes and then release the heels down, really working those feet. Lift up onto the toes, release the heels, and one more lift and release. Take your time walking those feet up towards the hands, nice and slow. Hang out in that forward fold there, knees are soft here. Or you can bend them more if you'd like, whatever feels good for you. Just want to feel that big stretch in the back of the legs. Bring those hands to opposite elbows, coming into ragdoll, getting a little bit of motion in the upper body here. A little side to side. Really releasing the low back, stretching those glutes out. Release the elbows and take your time rolling up into mountain, that full standing position. When you get to the top, roll those shoulders back, open the hands. Stand tall, stand proud. Couple breaths here. And then from here, we're just going to breathe in, lift those arms. Exhale, release that down. Inhale, lift. Lift the gaze as well. Exhale, bring it down. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. All right, from here we're going to do a couple rounds of sun salutation A. So bring those hands to heart center. Feet are about hip width distance apart here. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Really open the chest. Stand tall. And with the inhale, upward salute, just reaching up. Reach those hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Swan dive down. Soften the knees here, bend them completely. Inhale to lift to a halfway lift position, flattening out that back. And then we're going to exhale through chaturanga, so bringing the hands down, stepping the feet back, letting the knees come down, and then releasing the chest to the mat. Into cobra. And then down dog. Step the feet forward, halfway lift. Exhale into forward fold. Use a big inhale, lift all the way back up, upward salute, reaching up, and then returning to mountain. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna do that 2 more times. With the inhale, lift the hands, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down, bend those knees a bit, soften. Come into halfway lift, flattening the back. Exhale through chaturanga, letting the knees come down and then the chest. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to down dog. Inhale brings the feet forward, halfway lift. Exhale, release the body down once more. Inhale, upward salute, reach up. Exhale, return to mountain. And one more. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, feet come forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, upward salute, reach up. Exhale, return to mountain. All right, release. Okay, we're gonna take a seat on our mat. We're gonna slow it down a little bit and begin to do some nice gentle stretches as we make our way towards Savasana. So take a seat in staff. Staff is kind of an L position. It's like a kind of the seated mountain, basically. So everything's engaged here. It doesn't look like much is going on, but we're going to even bring those toes back towards the face of it. Core is engaged. Take a moment there. It's a very strong position. And release. We're going to lift up the upper body and then reach forward towards the feet, coming into seated forward fold. The upper body, reach forward here. Stretching the low back, the hamstrings, the glutes. This position can be hard to get into, especially if your hamstrings are really tight. So don't worry if you're more lifted here. That's okay. As you do more practice, things will loosen up and you come forward more. The inhale, lift back up to center. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. So bend those knees, leave those arms along your sides. And from here, we're going to come into a reclined pigeon. So we're going to bring that right ankle to the left knee. Pull in on that left thigh. We're getting a little bit of pressure on that right hip here, a little bit of stretch as we release the low back into the mat. And then go the full length of the spine, meet the mat here. This pose is great if you have any issues with sciatica, or you just need to really relax your low back. It's also a nice gentle stretch for the hips, which tend to get really tight. Release with an exhale. We're going to shift to the opposite side. So bringing that left ankle towards the right knee. Pull in on that right thigh. Same thing here, getting a stretch on the left side. Releasing the low back. Can sometimes feel good here to get a little ankle roll as well. But up to you. You can even point and flex a couple times. And release. Keeping those knees bent and feet flat, we're going to bring the arms out to the side. We're going to come into a supine twist. So we're going to shift the hips a bit to the left and then drop the knees to the right. So we want to keep the chest open here, both shoulders and the mat, as we let those knees come down. Generating a bit of twist. Great for the belly and the spine. Use an inhale to come back to center. Shift those hips back to center, and then we'll go the opposite way. So shifting those hips a bit to the right, dropping the knees to the left. Being mindful to keep the chest open here, both shoulders grounded in the mat. Nice easy breaths in and out through the nose. Use an inhale to lift those knees back up to center. And then we're going to stretch out on our mat. Bring those arms back by your sides. And we're going to pull that right knee up and in towards the chest and then around towards the armpit. We're going to leave that left leg stretched out there. Got a little bit of counter stretch here. And release, and we'll go the opposite way. So bringing that left knee up, in and around. Releasing that right leg out in front of you. And release. And this time we're going to bring both knees up into the chest and wrap the arms around them. Into a ball here. You can even lift the head up towards the knees if you want to get into your smallest spot here possible. And then with an exhale, you're going to release, unwind, lengthen out those legs, take up all the space on your mat, finding your final resting pose, Savasana. Really releasing those shoulders down away from the ears. Letting the eyes gently close. Relaxing the space between the eyebrows. Allowing the forehead to soften. Relax the jaw. Let the shoulder blades move away from one another. Make room for your spine. Belly is soft. Arms and legs relaxed. Fingers and toes relaxed. If you have time to stay here in Savasana for 5 or more minutes, pause the recording here. All right, full body stretch, extending the arms overhead, lengthening out from fingertips to toes. Big stretch. And with the exhale, release and allow the body to roll to one side. Take your time here. Let those eyes remain heavy. Moving slow here at the end of our practice. And enjoy about 2 to 3 breath cycles here on our side and fetal. And then using an inhale, make your way towards a seated position. Back into that cross-legged position. Make any movements along the way that feel good. Any little stretches, rolls, whatever feels right to you. And we'll close our practice today with 2 deep breaths together. Big inhale in through the nose. Out through the nose. Full inhale in through the nose. Exhale, release through the mouth. Let it go. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.